Good evening, it's time for Major Stories. I'm Joel Crosskill. The Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, says that security remains a big issue in Jamaica, and without public safety and peace in communities, the idea of building productive capacity for the country will not succeed. He spoke exclusively on CVM Live's panel discussion on investment in the security forces that he believes will pay off during the course of 2020. Aladdin Love has this evening's lead.
As of February 18, murders in Jamaica are up 8% over 2019. That's according to National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang. He tells CVM Live there's expected to be a downward trend in 2020, given the investment in the security forces, which is just starting to take effect.
The place like Montego Bay, the Jamaica cameras have only in the last 2 weeks been rendered totally functional. Cameras that were there before or not. You had to go to the required procurement process to change the cameras, because before that was being done on an ad hoc basis, so cameras of varying quality. They were installed at different locations, not necessarily the most suitable. So I know the investment will pay off during the course of this year.
Dr. Chang says members of the security forces will be much better equipped to tackle crime.
We are buying tasers, we are buying cameras, we are giving them a different kind of button than the big old stick that they used to have, and we are providing them proper vests.
How soon before that's implemented?
Some of them, they have acquired them, and they have started. They have acquisition this year, and they are being trained to use them. They'll have, of course, pepper spray, along with tear gas and the usual, and the buttons, and still have a sidearm, because Jamaica has a highly violent society. So they have been given that kind of resource, that is physical. Yeah. That's being done now as we speak. But
the security minister also weighs in on INDECOM and its role.
An independent body to look at where there's question about police action is necessary. I don't know if INDECOM is the right body. I don't know if they're operating in a manner that I think in the best interest of ensuring the professionalism we want in the force.
Minister,
wait a minute.
That's just my opinion. But there should be an independent body where there is constant breach by the police force of then it would be wise, because the police force, the law enforcement agency, and they have to abide by the law as well.
What is your assessment of how INDECOM has done that?
I wouldn't comment beyond that. I'm not sure they are handling it, the authority they have, in a manner that is in the best interest of achieving the objective we want.
At the same time, Dr. Chang is stressing the narrative in order to achieve the desired transformation in the Jamaican society. Poor Jamaican citizens from difficult communities should have access to quality education, health, and social support at all times. Aladdin Love for CVM Live.
Residents of Mud Valley and Granville St. James are reporting a heavy police and military presence in the area following a shooting earlier today. Reports that the lawmen were carrying out operations in Mud Valley sometime after 11 a.m. when they came under gunfire. The police allegedly seized 2 firearms. 2 men who have yet to be identified were also found suffering from gunshot wounds. They were transported to the Cornwall Regional Hospital, where they were pronounced dead. CVM Live will continue to monitor this story. The cries of residents living in an old building in downtown Kingston has been heard by their Member of Parliament, Ronald Thwaites. The Central Kingston MP has written to the Urban Development Corporation to grant temporary living privileges for the units. Khadija Thomas tells us more in this report.
These are the homes yet to be delivered by the Urban Development Corporation, UDC, under the Downtown Kingston Redevelopment Plan Yard Transformation. They remain incomplete and unoccupied. Member of Parliament Ronald Thwaites says he has written to the UDC on several occasions about the delay, but they are yet to take action.
They have not responded. They promised to investigate, but nothing has happened.
Residents remain outraged at the UDC for failing to deliver on the commitment made years ago, leaving several persons displaced and living in old structures.
Building is terrible. When rainfall, water just come in hard. You can't even walk upstairs again when rain fall. Up the flood out.
This is my local space that I live with me and one hit somebody in one area. I really need the help. The building where I live in now, it can collapse at any time.
According to Member of Parliament Ronald Thwaites, the complaints made from the residents are justified.
The conditions where the folks are now, unfortunately, like so many people in the inner city, are inadequate, to say the least. What has to be done is for the Urban Development Corporation to complete their construction and to do what they originally intended, which is to hand them over on proper terms, affordable terms, to the people who used to live on that premises.
The Downtown Kingston Redevelopment Plan Yard Transformation Project was a means of replacing dilapidated homes and getting residents to access homes under mortgage repayable over a 30-year period. Khadija Thomas, CVM Live.
Residents of Port Royal are complaining about the absence of street lights on the stretch of main road that leads into the community. The government recently declared Port Royal a tourism area in light of the cruise terminal port recently built to welcome ships. However, they argue that Port Royal Road is dark and may encourage criminals to move into the relatively low crime area. Jamaica Maitland reports.
Only white lines and car lights to guide motorists on Port Royal Road, as there are little to no street lights on the main road. But with the government recently announcing plans to declare Port Royal as a prescribed tourist area, the absence of light is a danger to motorists in the nights.
Residents explain that the area is pitch black from as early as 6 p.m. The shrubs and wetland on either side further magnify the darkness. Only freshly painted white lines and their car lights are there to assist them on the lonely road. And they reveal that the markings were painted recently. Many believe that it is in anticipation of the cruise ship that arrived in Port Royal last month. The Ministry of Local Government is responsible for the country's national street lighting program. The recently tabled estimates of expenditure allocated almost $16 billion to the ministry. Member of Parliament for Port Royal, Philip Paulwell, says the issue is a concern for not only the tourists who are expected to use the roads, but the residents as well. Paulwell says according to the Jamaica Public Service, the streetlights were destroyed. However, they will be replaced soon.
Mr. Smelly from JPS was actually summoned to the Road and Works Committee of the KCC last week, where he gave an update on the streetlight situation between the lighthouse and Fort Rocky. And he has pledged to have the lights repaired.
The Morella Discovery 2 is scheduled to arrive again in Port Royal on February 24. When asked whether he thinks the area is secured, he lists the recent declaration of the state of public emergency in East Kingston. He also criticized the enhanced security measures as too extreme for the generally peaceful Port Royal. And what about the threat of the spread of the coronavirus? The Member of Parliament said residents were worried but are being reassured by the government of the screening tests done by the cruise line. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton, during a tour of a coronavirus testing facility, said the ministry is prepared to deal with the deadly virus.
We will enforce very rigidly the agreements that we have in terms of self-monitoring, but also restrictions for persons coming off based on their travel history.
Jamaica Maitland for CVM Live.
As the fishing industry continues to grow in Jamaica, several fishermen are making an appeal to the government. According to them, they're in need of support and sponsorship to maintain their craft. Khadija Thomas tells us more in this report.
Every day out on the sea is a risk for these fishermen. They hope to get a good catch, but only a few return with a haul big enough to sell and share with their families. They tell CVM Live they are in need of support from the government to maintain their livelihood, which contributes much to the Jamaican economy.
When I go in, I was coming back. So everything was life jacket and spare guns and stuff like that. And sometimes we don't get no sponsor. We guys after on GPS, we don't get a sponsor. We get it all by ourselves.
The true we can't go which part them say a sanctuary. Even the fish did there we don't know. So which part we always are fishing right now with them place they get beat out. So right now a 4 year then they tell us that then they don't do sanctuary for a time for them free up and now make we can't see what going on with it.
In 2018, while speaking at the International Fisherman's Day Conference in St. Anne, the Minister of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries, Audley Shaw, indicated that the government was looking to maximize the fisheries industry's potential to contribute to Jamaica's economic growth. He also added that the fisher folk had a role to play in supporting the government's engagements. Fishermen, however, believe that more needs to be done. According to them, support ought to be provided to ensure that they are well protected while out at sea.
Too long now, fishermen always a jiffy and fishermen always a loss, and then just come like say, boy, them are nobody. Enough youth right now not take up fishing because they don't want to go out there and can't come back and then people can't see them again. So right now, we need the government to just get in some nice equipment we can save with any difficulty.
Khadija Thomas, CVM Live.
Ensuring better health care for women and children. That's the goal of the Partnership for the Promotion of Patients' Rights in Maternal and Neonatal Health project. As Aladdin Love tells us, the project, which was officially presented to the public on Wednesday, seeks to build the participation of several groups, which will work towards ensuring women know their rights and claim their health rights.
The Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, believes the right to health should be institutionalized in the Constitution of Jamaica and has no problem being a champion of that cause.
Sometimes we get caught up in the need for economic expansion and oftentimes miss the critical narrative around people and the holistic development of persons. And you cannot speak about the holistic development of the individual and the society, the collective, without speaking about access to good public health and wellness.
Tufton adds that in addressing the inequality in society, health is an important place to start. Tufton says when he visits the Victoria Jubilee Hospital in Kingston, which delivers an average of 600 babies per month, he's told by doctors that many mothers turn up at the institution for the first time when they are giving birth. He notes that this poses a serious risk to the lives of the mother and child. Adding to that is the head of the European Union delegation to Jamaica, who says with access to quality care, many maternal and infant deaths are preventable.
Over the last 10 years, we have seen some encouraging movements in the maternal health mortality ratio in Jamaica. 10 years ago, for every 100,000 babies born in Jamaica, 93 mothers died and 18 of every 1,000 babies born died before they reached the age of 5.
She says the number of maternal and neonatal deaths must be significantly reduced, especially with the scientific and technological developments in today's society. The project aims to ensure that all users of health facilities in Jamaica, regardless of their social or economic